Hello, I'm Michael Glass from the FXcast Market Analysis team. This is our market analysis for Friday, July 15th. In each of our videos, we try to come up with high probability trading setups. We'll look at the gold chart to find leading sentiment. We'll create an inside bar and a low volatility watch list, and we'll review the economic calendar to see what can affect our open and potential trades. As always, please send your comments and feedback to analysis@fxcast.com. As usual, we're going to start off with the gold chart, and we can see this lovely uptrend for gold on the daily chart here, pushing higher. We did have an increase in volume here as we moved higher, but we can see that the volume, our long-term, short-term moving average, our buy and selling moving average is at parity. So that's going to be interesting to see as we try to continue this move. Again, long-term, we can see we are well off the moving average, just a great uptrend. If we ignore the moving average and just, you know, take a look at it. Let's try that one more time. There you go. Something like this in here. So you can see even our pullback never really came back even all the way to the uptrend line. Certainly though came back to some key support price levels. So what we move on from here is two things. We transition over to the hourly chart, our 1 hour chart of gold, and we can see prices accumulating. Today, if you look at it, when we think about this move on the daily chart, today's a breather day. You see another one in here with our inside bar. And so today, as we consolidate, the market is breathing and it's taking in all of this move, and it has to make a decision about whether or not it's going to continue or not. Now, indications about whether it's going to continue or not, one way to can see that is the US dollar. And we can see if in a couple weeks we have the debt ceiling debate going on in the States, and if they choose to raise the debt ceiling, if they choose to, as indicated earlier this week, and weaken the dollar, then there's going to be a flight to gold, and gold will go higher. If something else happens, gold may go lower. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and let our indicator come in, let it at least get down here to get out of the overbought zone and get more into oversold before we start looking for a move higher. Let's go ahead and do one more thing. I showed you the monthly. Let's go ahead and take a look at this parabolic move here, and we'll go like this. So clearly, just a straight up move. Anybody that caught it, congratulations. So with gold continuing to be move higher, how does that affect the dollar? We'll start off by looking at the pound dollar. Here we are looking at the daily chart for the pound dollar, and we'll talk about a couple things. I've been talking about the light volume in this move. Even our big push up here did not exactly blow us away on volume. But what is important is that, remember, this was on yesterday, Bernanke in the States talked about possibly weakening the dollar by doing more easing. Today, he actually said the policy is not imminent, and so you're seeing the dollar strengthening a little bit today. And that's also why you see gold pausing, because that imminent move that was kind of hinted yesterday is not so imminent. Other thing you can see is we were pausing at the 50 moving average, and we got a little pullback now. So what we have to see is this channel that we're in on the daily chart. This channel, we have what was resistance now becomes support at about 1.607. Will this hold as we move towards the top of our downtrend channel? To confirm that, we'll move over to the 1 hour chart, and we'll go through our steps. First, where are we? We're well off our long-term moving average. Here's our long-term moving average. We're well off of that. Where are also? Well, this is parity, this is neutral, and so we're located in what we would call selling areas, selling zones. So we're off the moving average, we're off in a sell zone, we're a little bit below our short-term moving average, which should bring us possibly back down to parity. What else do we see? Well, we come down and we see, although both the dollar and the pound showing a little strength, we see that the dollar ever so fractionally has taken control. So when a dollar takes control, we come back over to our daily and we can see that we're pulling back in the market. We also see that the selling volume is still moving higher. So we're well off our long-term moving average. We are in a selling area. We see the dollar taking control and above zero. That gives us some inclination that there could be a possible move towards parity. But we got a quick spike up in our probability indicator. What's the probabilities of a reversal? So I would like this to confirm once again and move back up into a higher probability of a reversal before truly entering that trade. Moving on to the euro dollar. Again, over on the daily, we had our move up off of Bernanke's comment and the weakening of the dollar. Now we're seeing a pullback. So what we should do is we'll look at a couple things. I had this on here, but it's not there now. We'll come back over and see. We have two areas. We have this wick here area is a place of interest, and also this area right here is a place of interest. And so what we'll do is let's go ahead and start off with the wick, and let's take a look. If we go with the wick, where are we at? Is it being honored? We went through it here, we went through it here, honored here. Just trying to see if there's any buying support. Do buyers find value at this 1.415 price level? Right now, not really sure. Don't really see it. And the main reason is because there's wicks all over the place in this price level. So what I'm looking for, or what I'm trying to identify is, after we hit the moving averages here, are we coming back down to 200 moving average? Are we coming back? We have seller volume in control, and volume's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. So we'll come over to our hourly chart and take a look. Well, first off, we are underneath our long-term moving average. However, even though we're underneath it, we're in the neutral area. We're not in a buy area. We're not in a sell area. And that might be the case because, again, coming back to the daily, and you see all these wicks in this price level, that's indecision. So we're in the neutrals area, but we're well off, not well off, but we are off from our long-term moving average. Coming down, who's in control? Well, just like the pound dollar, we're seeing on the euro dollar, the dollar taking control again. Thus, we have our push lower. We also can see in our probability indicator that it's getting closer and closer to our probabilities of a reversal to the upside. So another reason to not try to play a short is that we're in the neutral zone. We're off of the long-term moving average. Our probability indicator is heading towards a move back up towards that long-term moving average. But the reason to possibly sit on hands is that we're in a neutral zone. We're in an area where clearly it's not clearly defined if buyers are finding value here on a daily chart. So for me, I would sit on hands initially, and let's see what happens as our probability indicator gets closer towards the reversal area. Finally, we're going to go to the dollar franc. And here, again, the theme of the day, yesterday was a bad day for the dollar, and now we're coming back a little bit. What's interesting on this one is that you can see when we come over to the hourly that the franc has taken control, met parity, took control again, and now the dollar is trying its best. You see it's really moving up, trying to take control again. However, as we look at the average, it's there, and the question is, can it make its way through, and thus can we get the franc to move back down towards its long-term moving average? When we look at our probability indicator, we can see it's basically in a neutral zone, and what we really want to see is that we are well off from our long-term moving average. We are in an area that would be identified as a buying zone. So what we want to see is the dollar clearly take control, which would allow this pair to continue to move higher. As we come to our low volatility and inside our watch list, you can see that for our 1 hour time frame with Bollinger Bands and our low volatility watch list, we're watching the Euro Yen, the Dollar Franc, and the Dollar Yen. We currently do not have anything for our inside bar watch list. Let's go take a look at the economic calendar. As we come to our economic calendar, the important thing to talk about today are two things. First, we have the European bank stress tests will be announced today, and that certainly will affect the market. And as we have a lot of inflation data, and also for the states, we have consumer sentiment can move the market. But I think what most people are going to be watching for is the European bank stress test, which for the most part nobody ever fails. We would like to thank you for watching our FXcast market analysis. As we continue to improve and make adjustments so that you're getting value from our videos, we want you to take the time to give us feedback, give us comments, send us questions about what you would like to see in our videos, and you can send those comments and feedbacks to analysis@fxcast.com, or you can post to our daily forum. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you next time.